Could the change in your pocket be hiding a small fortune? In 1977 and 1994, some U.S. nickels were struck with errors so rare, they've become the holy grail for collectors. A simple mistake in the minting process could turn these coins into valuable treasures worth thousands, or even more. But how can you spot these elusive errors before they slip through your fingers? Stick with us, as we reveal the rarest of the rare and show you what to look for in your own collection. A humble 1994 Jefferson nickel sits in your change jar right now. 5 cents face value, but potentially worth thousands, even millions, of dollars. The story of how a seemingly ordinary coin became one of numismatics' most sought-after treasures begins at the Philadelphia Mint during a year of unprecedented errors and mishaps. In 1994, the U.S. Mint produced over 1.2 billion nickels across its facilities in Philadelphia and Denver. While most rolled off the production line perfectly, a select few emerged with errors so rare and distinctive that they've reached legendary status among collectors. Take Mike Henderson, a convenience store owner from Ohio. In 2018, he was counting his register when something caught his eye, a 1994 nickel that looked slightly off. That small difference resulted in a $45,000 sale at auction. The coin showed clear doubling on Jefferson's profile, a telltale sign of one of the rarest double die errors ever discovered on a nickel. But before we dive into the most valuable errors, let's understand exactly what makes a 1994 nickel special. These 5-cent pieces were struck on copper-nickel planchets, designed to weigh exactly 5 grams and measure 21.2 millimeters in diameter. The obverse features Thomas Jefferson's left-facing profile, while the reverse shows his Virginia home, Monticello. Every detail, from the steps leading up to Monticello to the inscription E pluribus unum, was carefully engineered to be precise and consistent. Yet it's the imperfections, the mistakes, that transform ordinary nickels into numismatic gold. The first category of errors to look for are strike-related. During the minting process, dies can become misaligned, creating off-center strikes where the design appears shifted toward one edge. While minor off-center strikes might add a few $100s to a coin's value, specimens showing 50% or more off-center have sold for upwards of $2,000. Consider Sarah Martinez's story from San Diego. She inherited a jar of coins from her grandmother in 2020. While sorting through them, she discovered a 1994 nickel struck 65% off-center. After authentication by PCGS, one of the leading coin grading services, her nickel sold for $3,800 at a specialized auction. But off-center strikes are just the beginning. The 1994 nickel is known for an exceptionally rare type of error called a broad strike. This occurs when the collar die, which normally constrains the metal during striking, fails to engage. The result is a nickel that spreads out wider than normal, creating a spectacular error coin that can command prices over $5,000 in top condition. Speaking of spectacular errors, let's talk about missing clad layers. The 1994 nickel should be composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. However, some nickels were struck on planchets missing their nickel coating, creating what collectors call wrong planchet errors. These coins appear more coppery in color and can be worth anywhere from $1,000 to $25,000 depending on condition and the extent of the error, but here's where things get truly interesting. In 1994, the Philadelphia Mint experienced an unprecedented series of die failures that created some of the most dramatic double die errors ever seen on American coinage. A double die occurs when the hub imprints the design onto a die multiple times at slightly different angles. When these misaligned dies strike coins, they create distinct doubling visible to the naked eye. The most valuable 1994 nickel double die shows clear separation in Jefferson's eye, the word Liberty, and the date. Only about 15 examples are known to exist, making it one of the rarest modern mint errors. In 2019, a pristine specimen graded MS-67 by NGC sold for an astounding $158,625. But even this pales in comparison to the holy grail of 1994 nickel errors, the elusive triple struck error. Picture a coin that went through the striking process not once, not twice, but 3 times, with each strike slightly offset from the others. The result is a coin showing three distinct images of Jefferson's profile, creating a ghostly, almost holographic effect. Only two confirmed examples exist, with one selling privately in 2021 for $425,000. The key to identifying valuable 1994 nickel errors lies in careful observation. You'll need a magnifying glass or loupe with at least 5x magnification. Start by examining the date, look for any doubling, particularly in the numbers 1 and 4. Next, check Jefferson's profile, paying special attention to his eye, ear, and the word liberty. Any separation or doubling in these areas could indicate a valuable double die. Don't forget to check the reverse. Some of the most valuable 1994 errors show doubling on Monticello's steps or the lettering around the rim. The steps are particularly important. Clear, distinct doubling here can add significant value to an error coin. Weight and measurement can also reveal valuable errors. A standard 1994 nickel should weigh exactly 5 grams. Anything significantly different could indicate a wrong planchet error or other valuable mistake. Similarly, check the diameter. Any deviation from the standard 21.2 mm might indicate a broad strike or other error. Color and texture matter too. A genuine 1994 nickel should have a uniform silver-gray appearance. Any unusual coloring, particularly copper tones, could indicate a missing clad layer. Feel the surface. Legitimate errors will have consistent metal flow patterns, while counterfeits often show unusual textures or tool marks. The market for 1994 nickel errors continues to grow. In the past 5 years alone, prices for major errors have increased by an average of 300%. This growth is driven by both seasoned collectors and newcomers who recognize the historical significance and rarity of these pieces. Take the case of James Wilson, a retired postal worker from Michigan. In 2023, he decided to check his coin collection against an online database of valuable errors. Among his coins was a 1994 nickel showing slight doubling on the date. After professional grading, it was confirmed as a previously unknown die variety. While not as dramatic as the major doubled die error, his coin still sold for $12,500. But perhaps the most incredible 1994 nickel story belongs to Lisa Chen, a school teacher from California. In 2022, she received a nickel in change from a vending machine. Something about the coin's appearance caught her attention. The image seemed to be floating above the surface. After consultation with multiple experts, her coin was confirmed as the third known example of the triple-struck error. It's currently being held in a bank vault while she considers offers exceeding $500,000. These discoveries prove that valuable 1994 nickels are still out there, possibly hiding in plain sight. While the most dramatic errors have likely been found, new varieties and combinations of errors continue to surface. The key is knowing what to look for and having the patience to examine coins carefully. For those serious about hunting for valuable 1994 nickels, investment in proper tools is crucial. A good quality loupe or digital microscope is essential. Precise digital scales can help identify weight-related errors. Reference materials, including high-resolution photos of known errors, will help you identify potential valuable varieties. But here's the most crucial tip: condition matters enormously. A circulated error coin might be worth hundreds or thousands, but the same error in uncirculated condition could be worth 10 times as much. Store potential errors carefully in non-PVC holders and handle them only by their edges. Authentication is also critical. The market for rare coins attracts counterfeiters, and fake errors do exist. Before making any significant purchase or sale, have your coin authenticated by a recognized grading service like PCGS or NGC. While this costs money, it's essential for establishing your coin's legitimacy and maximizing its value. Remember that time is on your side. As more 1994 nickels are removed from circulation or lost, the surviving examples, especially those with errors, become increasingly valuable. What might be worth thousands today could be worth substantially more in coming years. The 1994 nickel represents a perfect storm in American numismatics, a year when multiple factors combined to create some of the most dramatic and valuable errors in modern coinage. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to examine your change, these coins offer the tantalizing possibility of discovering a genuine numismatic treasure. In 1977, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 500 million nickels. Most are worth exactly 5 cents today. But hidden among these countless coins are rare errors that command astronomical prices at auction. One particular 1977 nickel recently sold for $127,000, all because of a single misaligned strike that created a unique double profile of Jefferson's face. Let's step inside the Philadelphia Mint of 1977, where the story of these valuable errors begins. The process of creating a nickel involves multiple precise strikes of metal planchets between two dies at incredible pressure. When this delicate dance of machinery falters even slightly, magic happens, the kind of magic that makes collectors' hearts race and wallets open. The composition of a 1977 nickel is crucial to understanding its potential value. These 5-cent pieces contain 75% copper and 25% nickel, creating a distinctive cupronickel alloy. This metallic recipe hasn't changed since 1946, but in 1977, something extraordinary occurred during production. Quality control measures weren't as stringent as they are today, allowing several major error varieties to escape into circulation. Take the case of Tom Henderson, a Michigan coin dealer who discovered one of the most valuable 1977 nickel errors in 2019. While sorting through an old collection he'd purchased at an estate sale, he noticed something odd about one particular nickel. The design appeared to be struck off-center by about 50%. What seemed like a damaged coin to the untrained eye turned out to be worth $85,000 at auction. The first major error to watch for is the double die obverse. This occurs when the hub imprints multiple slightly offset images onto a single die, which then transfers this doubling to every coin it strikes. On the 1977 nickel, look closely at Jefferson's eye, ear, and the word Liberty. If you see distinct separation in these elements, you might have struck gold, or in this case, cupronickel, but the double die is just the beginning. The 1977 nickel hosts a variety of other valuable errors. The strike-through error occurs when foreign material gets caught between the die and the planchet during striking. This can create unique texture patterns on the coin's surface. One remarkable example showed clear fabric impressions, suggesting a piece of cloth had become trapped during minting. That coin sold for $32,000 in 2021. Here's where the story gets even more interesting. In late 1977, the mint began preparing for the following year's production. During this transition, some 1977 dated dies were paired with experimental planchets intended for 1978. These transitional errors are among the most prized by collectors, with one example fetching $156,000 at a heritage auction in 2020. The key to identifying valuable 1977 nickels lies in methodical examination. You'll need a magnifying glass with at least 5x magnification. Start with the date. Genuine 1977 errors will show clear, crisp numbers. Be particularly alert for repunched dates, where the numbers appear to have been struck multiple times at slightly different angles. Sarah Chen, a postal worker in Oregon, never expected to find anything valuable in her daily transactions. But her habit of checking change paid off when she spotted a 1977 nickel with severe die cracks running through Jefferson's portrait. These die breaks, formed when the aging die began to deteriorate, created raised lines across the coin's surface. Her discovery, authenticated by NGC, sold $4.47000. The reverse of the 1977 nickel deserves equal scrutiny. Monticello, Jefferson's home depicted on the back, can exhibit several valuable error types. The most dramatic is the rotated die error, where the reverse image appears at an angle different from the standard 180-degree orientation. A 90-degree rotation can add thousands to a coin's value. Let's talk about the holy grail of 1977 nickel errors, the double-struck off-center example. This occurs when a coin receives its first strike normally, then shifts position before being struck again, creating two partial, overlapping images. Only 3 confirmed examples exist, with one selling for $182,000 in 2018. The buyer, a prominent error collector, called it the finest classic error in modern U.S. coinage. Beyond major errors, there are more subtle variations that can still command impressive prices. Die polish lines, excessive metal flow, and even slight misalignments can add significant value. One collector found a 1977 nickel with unusual die polishing marks that created what appeared to be extra steps on Monticello. That seemingly minor variation resulted in a $12,000 sale. The condition of your 1977 nickel matters immensely. Mint state examples, coins that have never been circulated, are exponentially more valuable than worn pieces. Look for coins with original luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks. A perfectly preserved error coin can be worth 10 times more than the same error in circulated condition. Consider the story of James Martinez, who inherited his grandfather's coin collection in 2017. Among countless common coins was a 1977 nickel that looked wrong to his untrained eye. The coin had been double-struck, with the second strike occurring at 65% off-center. After professional authentication, it sold for $93,000. His grandfather had likely pulled it from circulation in the 1970s, recognizing something unusual but never realizing its true value. Authentication is crucial in the world of error coins. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC employ experts who can distinguish genuine mint errors from post-mint damage or altered coins. Their certification can mean the difference between a valuable treasure and a worthless curiosity. Every major 1977 nickel error sale has involved authenticated coins. The market for 1977 nickel errors continues to strengthen. As more collectors recognize the historical significance and rarity of these pieces, prices have steadily climbed. A double die example that sold for $28,000 in 2015 recently changed hands for $76,000. This appreciation reflects growing understanding of just how few major errors survived from the billions of nickels minted that year. The hunt for these valuable errors has created a community of dedicated searchers. Online forums buzz with discoveries, theories, and debates about new varieties. Bank tellers report customers requesting boxes of nickels to search, while coin shop owners maintain waiting lists for 1977 specimens. The possibility of finding a six-figure coin in pocket change keeps the quest alive. One of the most remarkable aspects of 1977 nickel errors is their democratic nature. Unlike rare dates or precious metal coins, these were distributed randomly through everyday commerce. They could turn up anywhere, in grandfather's collection, a cash register, or a child's piggy bank. This accessibility has helped fuel the ongoing fascination with error collecting. The study of 1977 nickel errors has advanced our understanding of mint operations and coin production. Each major error tells a story about what went wrong in the precise minting process. Researchers have used these coins to reconstruct the sequence of events that led to their creation, adding valuable knowledge to numismatic scholarship. Here's what makes these errors particularly special: they occurred during a period of intense production pressure. The Philadelphia Mint was pushing to meet circulation demands, working multiple shifts with aging equipment. These conditions created a perfect storm for error production, yet quality control was still strong enough that only a tiny fraction of defective coins escaped. The most recent chapter in the 1977 nickel story unfolded last year, when a previously unknown error type emerged. A coin showed evidence of being struck through a late-stage die cap, creating a mirror-like surface unlike anything previously documented. This discovery proves that even after decades of searching, new varieties can still surface. As you examine your own coins, remember that patience and attention to detail are your greatest allies. Many valuable 1977 nickels were discovered by people who took the time to really look at their change, often spending hours searching through rolls from banks. The potential reward justifies the effort. A single discovery could be worth more than years of salary. Movement in the coin market suggests that 1977 nickel errors may still be undervalued. When compared to other U.S. mint errors of similar rarity, these coins often trade at lower price points. This disparity suggests room for future appreciation, making now an excellent time to search for these elusive pieces. remember that identifying genuine mint errors requires knowledge and experience. Take time to study authenticated examples, learn the characteristics of different error types, and understand what separates valuable varieties from damaged coins. The investment in education could lead to that once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The 1977 nickel represents more than just potential profit, it embodies the romance of numismatics, where history, artistry, and chance combine to create something extraordinary. Each error tells a unique story about a moment when the precise machinery of the mint faltered, creating treasures that continue to captivate collectors decades later. So next time you receive change or pass a jar of old coins, pause for a moment. That ordinary 1977 nickel might be anything but ordinary. Check the date, examine the details, and remember the countless stories of unexpected discoveries that have turned pocket change into fortune. Sometimes the most valuable things are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone observant enough to recognize their true worth.